Probably saw the post, the one about losing your spark, about becoming just mom, the tired one, the overwhelmed one. You cried at it. If you did, you're not alone. With all that mental load, feeling like a ghost in your own house. I'm not here to talk to you as a parent. I'm not one. So you're probably wondering why someone with no kids is just connected to what you were feeling. I'll show you why. I was the child on the other side of that post, on the other side of a mother who dissolved, literally, in real time, while I watched. The same way you might be afraid your child is watching it happen to you right now. I'm not going to talk to you about what my mother did wrong. I made peace with that. She was a single mom, she was the floor everyone stood on, and she carried it alone. The village was there when I was young, but then it moved on, so she never asked again. She wanted to appear as the strong one, and who didn't need anybody, especially a man. My brother had his life and his friends. I had cartoons and television that raised me. I noticed something was off long before any of it came to a head. I kept asking her to go to the doctor. She refused. Then she had a minor heart attack shortly after. She drove herself to the hospital, and they found a cancer. She never would have gone otherwise. Her own body had to force her hand. Growing up, I learned to read the room before I could feel safe in it. Not much of a childhood. It's more of a system for figuring out what was coming next. Because when the person behind the parent is running on empty, when everything's going towards just getting through the day, the child stops borrowing a nervous system and starts building one in the absence of one. Everything downstream from there gets built on that foundation. And in the last months, something changed within her. For the first time, maybe the first time in her adult life, people were taking care of her. Everyone around her, including me. The weight she'd been carrying finally came down. Remember, we went to a beach. She had a glow I had never seen before in my life. She looked like a human being again. She looked like a child. Looking at it now, I think what I was seeing was her younger self. The person who had been there the entire time, underneath everything the role had taken from her. Remember, she started responding to things she'd never cared about. She hated poetry, yet while she was in the ICU, I wrote poems, roomy poems, on her whiteboard. I remember her saying, I like that. She started liking dogs too. She never liked dogs. As I watched this, I felt hope. I was watching her wither away, and I felt hope. Because the version of her I was finally meeting at the end, that was the version I wanted my whole childhood. Not the depleted one, not the angry one. The one who could feel the sun. The one who could say, I like that to poetry. The one who was actually there, present, and enjoying life. Your child is looking for that right now. Not the parent, you, the person behind the role. House is a place where you live. Home is a place where you feel safe. That's the difference your presence makes. If you want to feel that, spend half an hour with your child. No responsibilities, no tomorrow, no mental load. Just now. Go for a walk. Watch whatever they're watching. Read a book with them. Be genuinely curious. If they stop and see a flower and they say they like it, ask them why. If they're watching something silly on YouTube, ask them what made them pick this specific video. If you're reading together, be in the story. Act it out. Laugh when it's funny. Let it be funny. Notice how you feel after. Notice if something in you remembered something from your own childhood. This is just two people being alive in the same moment, and one of them happens to be the most efficient teacher of presence you've ever had. I know life is capricious, and there's no handbook to living a perfect life or being a perfect parent. We're all out here doing the best that we can with what we were given from the childhood we came from. Being a parent is even more challenging because you've introduced a life with you into this world. I was a kid every parent is afraid theirs might become. Here's what I actually needed. It wasn't a different mother. It was a mother who knew her own body, who could be present with it, who could come back to herself long enough for me to feel her presence in the room, feel like I was at home with her. I had a house with her. I didn't feel like I was at home with her. You haven't lost her, and your kid hasn't lost you yet. Presence builds clarity, and clarity creates choice. Presence, clarity, choice. That's where it starts. The 3.5-minute presence reset is in the pinned comment. Free. 3.5 minutes. That's where your child finds you again.